I've been waiting for quite a long time in order to record this video because I was hoping that there will be sun outside so that I can record a cozy, bright video talking about my plans for the next year. But in this country, sun only comes out closer to May. So even though it's 11 a.m. right now, without any additional light, I literally look like I am hiding in a cave. So we're gonna work with what we have, okay? I don't really have any proper light. I have this like very small lamp here, so I have no idea how it's gonna look. And I'm gonna also have shadows, so I'm sorry about that. That's not me, that's the weather. So hi, my name is Nadya. I'm the face behind the Lemony channel where we discuss all things knitting. And today I want to venture into my own plans for 2026. I know it's a bit late because it's the end of January, but I was busy with other plans. Before actually planning, I already did have plans. That's just my crazy life, I guess. So I'm usually not the person who sticks to their plans because I am a bit chaotic and I love improvising and everything. So making like a proper make 9 list was very hard for me because I am absolutely not sure I'm gonna want to make any of these projects later on this year. But I chose 9 patterns that I've been thinking about non-stop ever since I found them. So since I'm obsessed with them, there is a high chance I will want to work on them throughout the year. So it's basically 9 patterns that are most likely to be made by me in this year, and some of them I have already bought, some of them I have yarn for. So that's exciting. So grab a beverage of your choice and let's get into it. My beverage of choice is a very dark tea today because I need all the caffeine I can get. Let's go. If you've been to my channel before, you know this is my knitting journal, so I wrote down everything in my plans into it so that I can use my pretty pens to mark down everything I've made, so I love journaling. And here we have the Make 9. I know it's already the end of January, but even though the year is already in full bloom, I actually already started working on one of the projects from the Make 9, so I'm gonna start with this one. The first one on my list is Constellation Sweater by Azeta. I'm making it in Isaiah Aran Tweed with Isaiah Silk Mohair. The Aran Tweed is in this like dark blue color and the mohair is a lighter blue. So I'm trying to go for something like a Milky Way vibe. So basically like space and stars, but also not like bright, but just like milky, you know. I ain't gonna lie, I'm obsessed with these yarns. I only have one ball of each for now. So I'm very scared that I'm gonna run out of it very soon. I only casted it on like a few days ago, so I only worked on the collar, but I'm already absolutely would love how squishy it is, how soft it is, and I'm just obsessed. So it's one of my most anticipated projects of this year, and I can't wait to make it. The next one on my list is Bifurka Vest by Tete Lutzak. I am planning to make it in the yarn that I got from unraveling a sweater I got from a thrift store. It's 90% wool, 10% cashmere. I made a swatch already and it hits the gauge perfectly for this vest. It's in really dark black color, which is not going to be fun, but I have in my stash a very cool hand-dyed yarn that I got from Vinted from a girl who just started hand-dyeing yarn, so she was kind of like selling her first tries, and it's this beautiful orangey, yellowy, very bright color that I feel like is gonna be a great contrast color for black. So I expect it to be very dark and mysterious, but also very florally and happy. So I am planning to make it closer to March when it's more like spring weather and everything. But I'm very happy that I already have yarn for it and I'm not gonna buy any more yarn for this project because I have a yarn stash problem. It doesn't fit in my cupboard anymore. I need to do something about that. The third project on my list is Winnie Top by Lily Kate France. I am planning to actually invest in some cashmere for this one because it looks very delicate and I would love to have a proper cashmere tee to wear in spring and actually summer as well because it's going to be very breathy. I will have to invest into this one. It's gonna, cashmere is not cheap at all, but I think it's gonna be worth it. And it's kind of gonna fix my fixation on the fact that I had a very cute cashmere t-shirt I thrifted a few months ago. And I love the color, I love the fit, but it was very, very, very heavily eaten by moth. So there were a lot of holes. So I tried to unravel it, and unfortunately I only got like a very small ball of yarn because all of the edges were cut through. It was like very weirdly seamed together. So yeah, it was not a success, but at least I have some cashmere out of this t-shirt. But now I really want to have another one because I loved wearing it. It's so breathy and soft. Yeah, so that's gonna be an investment, and I'm planning to make it in the same like chocolate brown that the main sample is in, because I kind of feel like it's a very nice color for my color season, which I have no idea what my color season is. It just seems right. The fourth project on my list is Fiona Flower Sweater by Me With A Label. I got obsessed with this pattern the second it was released, and I've been dreaming of making it. And 1 month ago, I thrifted a skein of Juniper Moon Farms Moonshine yarn in a gorgeous matcha-like color. And I became obsessed with this yarn because it's super soft, like unbelievably soft and squishy. And it's also very expensive. So I've been trying to look for different yarns that are similar composition, but unfortunately there are none. It's very unique. So my idea is to get actually just like order yarn on the cone with a similar composition with alpaca, silk and merino in it, and ask my bestie to color it into the like matcha-like color so that I can make this sweater, because I am obsessed with this idea, but I do not have 250 euros to spend on yarn for one sweater, unfortunately, even though I wish I could. If Juniper Moon Farms wants to send me some yarn, I would be very grateful. The fifth project on my list is Sweet Dreams Sweater by Kylie Noel. And I've been obsessed ever since she started the test knit for this sweater. And I even wanted to apply, but I was not sure that I will be okay with test knitting something that requires sticking without having any sticking experience. So I did not apply, and I'm very sad about it now. But I decided that this is going to be the project where I try the sticking for the first time in, and I am very excited about it because my bestie, Annemette from Fingernamed, also wants to make the sweater. So there is a very high chance we're going to have a buddy knit of the sweater. I'm not sure about the yarn yet. I think we're gonna go for Holst Garn Super Soft mixed with like a second thread of something soft and fluffy. And let's see where that goes. I really hope that it's gonna be something we do this year because first of all, I always wanted to have a body knit. And second of all, this sweater just looks so perfect for spring. In our case, I guess we'll finish it closer to the end of the spring, but it still counts, right? Number 6 is Expectation of Snow by Olga Radchuk. I am pretty sure none of you have heard about this pattern because it's not a popular pattern in any sense. And I haven't heard about this designer as well, but here's the catch. If you've been to this channel before, you know that I was born in Russia. So I was raised in Russia, and I am very sad that I was not into knitting when I was still living there. So I kind of want to visit my cultural roots, because in Russia there are a lot of different crafts and traditions that are very rooted in history, and thinking about that brought me to the idea that I want to make an Orenburg shawl. I think you might have seen like versions of it, but maybe didn't know about Orenburg shawl. Is basically like a very thin lace shawl. And the idea is that the shawl should be so thin and lightweight that if you take a ring and put the shawl through the ring, it needs to completely go through the ring without like catching on it and or getting stuck. That's pretty cool, right? So I got into learning more about Orenburg shawls, and I found this pattern, Expectation of Snow, which is not exactly an Orenburg shawl, but it has some of the motifs that were traditionally used in it. So it's similar, but not the same. So it's kind of a mix of something modern with something old, which is, in my opinion, very cool. And my parents found the actual Orenburg yarn that is the proper, basically mohair with silk that is very thin and very appropriate for this thing and super traditional. And they sent me a package with it from Russia. So I'll have enough yarn for a shawl, and I'm gonna make myself a white, very, very long lasting project. It's gonna be a beautiful shawl, but it's gonna take me a lot of time, but I'm very excited about it. Number 7 is Ava Jacket by my Fair and Thick's Knitwear. It's part of Isaiah Archives 2 collection. I became obsessed with it the second my Favorite Things Knitwear posted the final pictures of this thing. I already bought the pattern because I know for sure I need this in my garderobe, because wardrobe, not garderobe. Garderobe, wardrobe, you get me. The thing is, I am obsessed with the idea itself. So the original design by the SAF family was inspired by newspaper. So the whole texture on the jacket is supposed to mimic the newspaper with text written on it. And even though I absolutely love the original color that the sample was made, I need one in brown color with light blue text on it because it looks so magical. I am absolutely obsessed, and I think it's gonna be my autumn project. Like, I think I'm gonna make it for myself in September because it's gonna be so cozy to wear during the colder months. Oh my god, can't wait. Getting closer to the end, number 8 is Mountain Bed by Caitlin Hunter. It's a colorwork sweater. It's quite a simple colorwork sweater, but that's exactly what I like about it. So I'm planning to make it in cotton merino blend, so it's more all season kind of sweater, not like a warm one, but kind of the one I can also like take with me during summer chilly evenings. I feel like even if I make it in the original colors, it's still not gonna be too cliche. And I really like how it is pretty, but also still has some kind of a basic look in a way. So I'm very excited to make it like as my like workhorse sweater for the summer. And the last one, we have Yarrow by Melody Hoffman. And I want to make it in the original yarn, Rama Vance. I think it's gonna be a very thick sweater because as far as I remember, Rama Vance is very like thick yarn. But first of all, I really want to try the embroidery that is on the sleeves. It looks amazing, and I just want to learn these techniques. So basically it's educational need for me. And also I think it's gonna be a great layering piece because it's plain stockinette with beautiful sleeves, so you can kind of mix and match things on top. You can wear vests, you can put some dresses on top, like short sleeve dresses. So I kind of feel like it's gonna be a unique but very warm piece. I kind of feel like it's gonna move closer to winter. I would expect that I will make it somewhere in November if I don't go crazy on gift needs again. But Make 9 is all fun and games. I need to have actual goals so that I can measure the success of my knitting year. I have my own set of KPIs, and I decided that KPIs is a boring word and I don't want to have this in my knitting world. So I made a bingo instead. I made a lemonade bingo, and I will try to not forget to cross it off in my podcast throughout the year. But basically, it's all the things that I want to accomplish throughout this year of knitting. And some of these goals are not exactly very likely to be reached, but that's what bingo is about, right? I need at least one line, and I hope I will be able to do it. So let's quickly go through the things I have on my list. First of all, I have buddy knit. This is exactly what I told you about before. I really want to have a buddy knit, and I hope that me and Anameta will have a gorgeous sweater buddy knit of the Sweet Dream sweater. I really hope that happens because I feel like it is cute to have same knit with your friend. Next one is visit a yarn store I've never been to. I obviously have been to all of the yarn stores in my city. I've been to some yarn stores in Copenhagen, in Aarhus, in Esbjerg, in Flensburg, in Germany, and in Amsterdam, and in Leeds, and in Soldair in UK. So I've been to quite a few. But I am aiming to visit at least one new yarn shop every year because I feel like that's fun. You never know what you're gonna find there, and I kind of like the idea of matching projects with memories, so that like if I buy yarn for a project in a particular shop, I will always remember like the trip to the shop as part of this project. So that is really cool. Next one is test knit 5 patterns. I tried test knitting last year. I test knitted 2 sweaters. Actually, this one is one of them. It's a Fisherman's Rib sweater by Friday Knits, and I absolutely love test knitting. I learned that about myself. I absolutely love test knitting. So I want to do that more this year. I'm not sure about actually hitting 5 because it doesn't really always depend on me whether I get into test knit, because like, you know, designers choose people themselves. For example, I've applied to like 5 test knits throughout the last few months and I haven't been picked to any of those. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm very hopeful. The next goal is tech edit 10 patterns. Last year I started tech editing patterns for knitwear designers, and I like it. I am still having an imposter syndrome because I kind of feel like I have no idea what I am doing. But at the same time, in the end, I see the amount of changes I propose to the pattern, both math-wise and consistency-wise. And I kind of feel like I am doing a useful job. I am not sure, but I'm trying to tell myself that if designers that I work with are satisfied with what I'm doing, then probably I'm not that bad. So I kind of want to go over my imposter syndrome and actually start looking for new clients this year and start tech editing more, because right now I'm just like, I don't get clients until they just are like, hey, so I heard you're tech editing. Would you like to tech edit for me? And I'm always very shy about it. And I say that I'm a very beginner tech editor. So are you sure about that? Probably not the best way to do the thing that you consider in a way your work. So I should definitely change my attitude towards it. Next one is make 5 knits using only local yarn, which is gonna be hard because sometimes local yarn doesn't mean it's actually local. For example, I was like, I'm gonna support Danish yarn industry. I'm gonna buy yarn from Isea for the Constellation sweater. And I bought it, and all wool is made and spun in Ireland. So is it really local yarn? I mean, the brand is local, yarn, not so much. So I'm gonna look for more local sheep brands. I know that Hjelholt Ullspinneri has their own yarn brand where they make yarn from Danish sheep. So I want to try that. and I want to just like investigate the possibilities of buying local more. Next one is spend 10 days without knitting, not on the row, just like throughout the year, because I have been a little bit too obsessed with knitting last year. I didn't have even 4 days without knitting throughout the whole year. And the only 4 days that I was not knitting, it was before because I hurt my hands, so I couldn't knit technically. It was just too painful. So I kind of feel like I need to slow down a little bit in this direction. So I will try to make myself not knit a few days a year, so at least one day a month. I would prefer to like absolutely not knit so that I can appreciate this hobby more and I can switch my focus to other things, because somebody is going crazy, cuckoo crazy. That's not good. Next one is visit a knitting event. I want to go to a fiber fair or market or anything like that, because I've never been to one like properly. I was with a friend that was not knitting, so it's just like we didn't check any of the booths or talk to designers or talk to yarn dyers, and it was not fun. But next one is switch to Chiago. I am tired of Knit Pros. I'm sorry, I know that a lot of people love Knit Pro needles. I still think that it's the best you can get for this price range. Don't get me wrong, they are good for their price, but the amount of cables I broke in this year, in particular, it was 5 cables and 1 wooden needle set. Not set, just like 1 pair of wooden needles. That's not ideal. So I'm a little bit pissed off, and I am tired of it. So my husband and I decided that when Xiaogu are coming out with their new quartz needles, I'm getting them. Unfortunately, they don't have a set yet, so I'll have to kind of like combine the needles that I need that like are most normally used by me and get all the cables and everything. But I really want to do that this year. Unfortunately, even though they released it, they are not yet in the shops, but I found a shop that's gonna stock them, so I'm waiting for them to receive the needles, and I'm just like, they're like, take my money, I want to switch to Chagos, because like, oh my god, I am knitting mitten with shorties, and I can see why everybody loves them. I ain't gonna lie, I can see why. Next one is try Intarsia. I've never tried Intarsia. Intarsia? Intarsia? I've never tried before. And I've never tried to say this word before as well. But it's my plan for this year. And I think that my next design that I'm planning in March is gonna have Intarsia in it. So I need to learn how to do that. Next one, participate in World Knitting in Public Day. You know me, I love knitting in public. I'm a performative knitter, I guess. So last year I was sick during the knitting in public day. So I wasn't able to join people outside. So this year I really want to be with all others knitting in cafes and parks, because especially in Denmark, everybody is knitting. So there are a lot of people outside who are knitting. So I want to be with them during this day and celebrate with our community. Community is so important. Now we have one social media kind of goal, reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. It is my goal for this year. I am pretty sure it's an unachievable goal because I get like 3 new subscribers a month. So not exactly the growth rate that will lead me to 1,000 subscribers, but I'm still hopeful. You know, you can never not be hopeful. Try sticking. As I already said, I've never tried it. I hope to do it on Sweet Dream Sweater this year. I am terrified, but I kind of feel like I am terrified for no reason, because so many people have done it and so many people say that there's absolutely nothing to be scared of. So yeah, we're gonna see. The next one is a cute one. I want to pet an alpaca. I know there are some alpaca farms here and in neighboring countries. So I want to travel and find an alpaca farm where they let you in and let you pet the alpacas. And my dream is to pet an alpaca. I love alpacas and I just want to touch those fluffy little creatures. The next one is a creative one. I want to try making buttons by myself. I want to hand make buttons out of clay and just like make a few sets of buttons that were made by me only and see how it goes. Because I am not very impressed with the button selection in my local yarn stores, and I really don't want to buy anything off Amazon or Temu or whatever. So I kind of think like, I'm gonna make them myself. We're gonna see how it goes, but at least it's something I can have fun with, no matter the result. Then we have visit an offline knitting meetup. It might be a knitting club. It might be just like knitting evening in like some local social center. It might be a cinema knitting night. Anything like that, just like somewhere where I will participate in community. For me, this year is all about participating in the life of other people because I feel like I've been too walled up the few years before that. So I want to be a part of the community around me. So yeah. The next one is a really cool one. It's visiting Isaiah's factory. It's not, I think I said that like a million times. It's not far away from the place where I live. So my dream is to go there with my bestie and have like a full tour around the factory. And after the tour, go to their shop and buy sweater quantity of yarn there. It feels like a dream, but I really want to do it because I kind of feel like it's a perfect hangout idea for us. Next one is publish a design. As you know, I've been working on a few designs, but in the end, I always feel like they're not good enough to share them and to make patterns for them. So I need to fight this imposter syndrome yet again, and I will try to publish a design this year and maybe even make my first paid for pattern. We'll see how it goes. I hope that I will kind of win over my own brain. Okay, another social media goal, reach 1,000 followers on Instagram. This is even less achievable than the YouTube one because like nobody actually like follows or subscribes to me on Instagram, but a girl can dream. Okay, the next one is also about building a community. I want to meet another knit talker in real life. So I met a few people from Knit Talk in real life already, and this year I want to meet yet another person. I just want to slowly move my like online knitting community to the real life knitting community, you know, just like meet everybody who I talk with and communicate and engage with all the time, and just like stop from being virtual friends and just be friends. I sound like a very lonely old lady. I am a very lonely old lady. What I'm talking about. Next one is participate in a knit along. I've never done that. I know it's fun. I know that it feels kind of like a buddy knit, but with like random people. In my opinion, it should feel something like in between of a buddy knit and a test knit because it's like random people in the same like group with you or chat with you, working on the same project. I really want to do that. I wonder if I'll be able to find a knit along that will have like the same goals that I have along the way. So, and that will be at the same time when I will have some space for new projects, because right now, for example, I'm swamped with projects. So not a good time to start a knit along. The next one actually I have already achieved. It's salvage yarn from a thrifted sweater. I already did that with a black sweater I got from thrift store, the one I told you about in Bifurka West. So I already did that. Yes. Next one is reach 5,000 followers on TikTok. I think that it's the most doable out of my social media goals because at least my audience is growing very consistently there. So I guess it might happen. I don't know why I want this because it's not like I'm considering social media like something serious in my life. It's just like my hobby. But I kind of feel like my ADHD is pushing me to reach some kind of goals, because otherwise I feel like I'm just like not doing anything. Okay, we have two left. One is you stash yarn in 10 projects, because my yarn stash is hilarious for someone who's been only knitting for a year and a few months. I have too much yarn. It's official. I mean, it's mostly because I've been buying yarn for projects that I have never actually made, because my chaotic brain went into another direction and decided to make other projects. So I have too much yarn. I'll need to do something about it this year, because I don't want to be a person who overconsumes yarn. And the last one is knit a pattern with less than 10 projects on Ravelry. And this is very important to me as well, because I very much want to support smaller designers, and I really want more designers to come into the spotlight, because I know multiple very cool designers that just don't have the audience yet. So they're gorgeous designs, only have like a few projects, and most of them are test knits. So I really want to help other designers reach their new goals and new highs of their career. So I'll focus on that. And that's it. These are my plans for this year. I am glad that I'm already working on some of the goals. So like I am already, for example, using some yarn from my stash, and I'm working on writing a pattern for a yarn kit and a design that we're going to have in collaboration with Fingernamed. So I'm moving somewhere. I'm very happy about that. So if you've been following my channel, you know that I am currently unemployed and I wasn't able to find any job in Denmark so far. So the most important thing for people who are unemployed is to not lose hope. And in order to not lose hope, you kind of need to be moving somewhere. So if you don't have a job, you need to move in other directions. And hobbies and getting better in your hobbies is also a way to kind of feel this movement, this growth, and it can be very important for your mental health. So if for some reason you are in the same situation as me, just remember that it doesn't have to be a job that makes you proud of yourself. The job market nowadays is hilarious. So there is a very high chance that you not having a job is not actually your fault. It's just the circumstances. So if you find something that while you're looking for a job makes you feel like you are doing something not useful, but just like something good for yourself in any capacity or any meaning that is important to you, then you're all right. So don't be harsh on yourself. We are all just trying to survive here, okay? Life sucks, but we're gonna stay together and stick to it. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're gonna stay with me throughout this journey of 2026 knitting challenges for myself. I hope you're gonna stay here to watch if I actually accomplish all of them, or at least some of them, by the end of the year. In order to do that, please consider subscribing to my channel so that we don't lose each other. Or you can go and follow me on other social media such as Instagram, where I post more aesthetically pleasing knitting content, or just like some real life knitting content, or on TikTok, where I post goofy content knitting related. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, my knitting friends and buddies.